Hello. Good morning. Well, it's actually no longer morning, but it is 24-hour readathon day. It is my Pokeathon gym 24-hour readathon day. If you don't know, on my Patreon I do a year-long readathon called Pokeathon, which is Pokemon themed, and then every month we have a Pokeathon gym, which is a 24-hour readathon. And today is one of those, and it's the first one of the year, so I'm really hoping to go hard for it. So, last night you will have seen I started a book. I started I'm Afraid You've Got Dragons. You can't see the cover. Why am I holding that up for you? This one, I'm Afraid You've Got Dragons. And I am not very far in. I didn't get very far last night at all. I got 27 pages in. That is it. Because I was also sorting out a video that needed to be sorted out. And I had a real drama with that. And then I was up until 4 AM trying to sort that video out. It is now sorted, thankfully, so I can focus on reading. But this morning, I should have filmed, I started this as well. So my TBR for the readathon, I should probably tell you that much, is I'm Afraid You've Got Dragons by Peter S. Beagle. Which will be my fantasy pick of the day. One of the prompts is to read a hardback book, so that is my hardback. I'm going to try and also get to Earthlings by Sayaka Murata. This is for a heavy-hitting book. I have heard many a thing about this book. And then one of the other prompts is a non-fic, and I have decided I really want to get back into my astrophysics reading. So I've gone with The End of Everything, and I'm about halfway through this. I find astrophysics really interesting. I do not think I am a smart cookie, so I could never, fully learn what's going on here, but I'm so fascinated by the theories, and this one is different theories on the end of the universe. So, we've just had heat death, and we've gone through the big crunch, and then we've obviously had some of the previousness of, what the universe kind of is, the Big Bang to now, the cosmic microwave, etc. But I'm enjoying, and the next one that I'm up to chapter 5, is going to be The Big Rip, and then there's Vacuum Decay, and Bounce. I'm intrigued by Bounce, because I feel like Bounce would be right, so the thing with the universe is it's expanding, and it's always expanding, it never ends, it just keeps going. That absolutely blows my mind. So is the bounce, is it going to expand to a point and then bounce back? And then pulsate? But then we've also got the big crunch, where you expand to a point and then you just snap back in, and that being the end of the universe. I don't know. I'm just intrigued by the end of the universe. Maybe it's a little bit I don't know, morbid, end of everything, but it's fascinating to me, and it does make me feel completely insignificant and minuscule. So fun. But I think for right now I want to focus on getting through more of I'm Afraid You've Got Dragons. The tone of this is quite humorous, so I'm looking forward to that. And then we'll see how the rest of the day goes. I'm going to set up some more sprints with my patrons for today. I'm going to sit over there with my lamp. I've now got 2 of the Serious Readers Serious lights. This is my HD light. I now have one in the bedroom and one in the library, which makes me so happy. So this setup for reading today over there with my light on is going to be perfect. It's exactly how I was reading last night, and I loved it. And I'm really glad to have one of the serious lights in the library as well now, because I love them so much, and I was using the one in the bedroom all the time. So now having one in either place is beautiful for me. You know I'm a big fan. You know I love them. I talk about them often. So I'm really glad to now have two. So I'm gonna chill out and read over there and let you know how my day goes. Hopefully it goes well and I get loads of reading done. Look at the size of this strawberry. It's huge. Huge and delicious. One of the prompts was about eating berries, so got myself some strawberries. And me and Finny Boy, I'm gonna go for a walk. So I'll put you in my pocket, you can come along. But I'm gonna switch up my reading because I need an audiobook for the walk. And none of the books I've decided to read today are on audiobook available in the UK, which is really annoying. So I'm gonna try and listen to the audiobook of Before We Forget Kindness, which is the 5th book in the Before the Coffee Gets Cold series. So I'm gonna do that on the walk. Let's go. So we get back from the walk. I tried to get myself all set up again in my spot. And look who steals my seat. Look at him in the spotlight. Fully in the spotlight. Enjoying my chair. Got my stack of books. Doesn't he look gorgeous? He's so gorgeous. But I want to sit there and read. That was supposed to be for me. It was supposed to be my seat. Right under my light. And I would like to take this opportunity also to say thank you to Serious Readers for sponsoring this video. Because I do love it. But look at how bright it is under here. And I do still have a discount code with Serious Readers, which is Jade. Just Jade. Which will get you £150 off a HD light. And you know I love them. And that's why I want to sit here, Finn. I want to sit here to read under my light. I know. You like it. You like being in the spotlight. It's like, but Mum, it's such a nice little reading spot. Oh. Okay. Shall I dim it so that we've got mood lighting? No? You know, okay. Okay. Beautiful. He's freed me up a little bit of space. So, reading update as well. Whilst I was out on the walk, I did start this one, Before We Forget Kindness. I am like 20-something% in. Got through the first story of it. We are back in the original cafe again, and we are a little bit earlier in time than we have been in some of the other ones. Like, Mickey is quite young in this one, and I hope that it could potentially make me cry. So I am, page-wise, about 56 pages into this one. And then, page-wise in Dragons, I am 53 pages into this one. So that's 100 pages there. And then, obviously, with this one, I've read the most of this one. I'm 105 pages into this one. And I have not yet started this one. But I'm beginning to wonder if I'm actually going to finish anything in this 24-hour readathon, or if I'm just going to read a bunch of different books. Anyway, I'm here now, in my spot, and I'm going to focus my attention on the Dragons one. So, let's focus. The minute I get up, he is right there again, stealing my seat. And he doesn't care. In the slightest. Yeah, that's it. Yawn. In the spotlight. Everyone can see you stealing my chair. You're literally in the hot seat, under the spotlight. And no one's gonna care. Because you're cute, so you deserve the seat. Hello, friends. I finished a book. Before We Forget Kindness. I just thought I was the furthest percentage-wise through this, so to make sure I actually finished a book in this readathon, I would just sit and finish this one. So I have. Not my favourite of the series. My favourite of the series, I think, still goes to book number 1 and then book number 3. But I did like this one. I liked being back in the original cafe, and I really like the stories. Nothing in this one hit me in the feels. Similarly to book 2, Tales from the Cafe, it's kind of that same vibe. We're less so focusing at all really on the overarching plot like we were in the first one of the people who run the cafe, and it is purely focused on the individual stories of the people visiting the cafe to use the time-travelling coffee abilities. If you're not familiar with this series, the first one is Before the Coffee Gets Cold. It's about a cafe where you can travel back in time to see someone, meet someone, whatever you need to do, but you only have until the coffee gets cold to come back, so you don't have long at all. Healing fiction, very cute, very cozy, kind of exactly what I expected this to be, so I feel like I don't really have a lot of commentary to give you on it, because it's just exactly what I thought it was going to be. I have enjoyed this series, I continue to enjoy this series, but I still don't think anything's going to hit the same that book 1 did, because book 1, like, stuck a knife in my heart and twisted. This one didn't do that, but still a solid 4-star read. I like the way these stories are told, so I got a book done. Hurrah! So that's that one done. I am drastically running out of time. Today has flown by, so I'm still about halfway through my non-fiction and a little ways into this. But because Before We Forget Kindness didn't make me cry, I actually need to focus on my non-fic again. So I'm gonna go back into this for a little bit, and I might not actually get to this one today. Do we think I can finish the other half of this in the remaining... Oh, probably not. Wow. I thought this was going well. I thought that I was actually doing quite good, because I was like, partway through 3 books, oh my god, making such good progress, and I'm only gonna have finished 1. And it wasn't even one that was on the TBR that started this. Anyway, I'm gonna continue to sit here, and I'm just so pleased to have this in the library now. And I'm gonna learn more astrophysics. Bring on the big rip. It is 11:59, the 24 hours of the day. Okay, it's now midnight. The 24 hours of the day have gone, and I did finish the end of everything. So I didn't just finish 1 book, I did actually finish 2. Perhaps not quite the 2 I intended, considering the book that I started at midnight and thought was going to be my first read, I have ended the night being a grand total of 67 pages into. And actually, I'm going to swap out my bookmark for my dragon bookmark, because this is I'm Afraid You've Got Dragons. So yeah, I really thought that I would have finished this one, but I didn't. I got distracted by my non-fiction, which I'm actually really pleased to have done. So these are the books instead that I read. Cute. Spoken about it. This, mind-boggling. I really enjoy the fact that the answer, I don't know if I want to say answer, but like the overwhelming like theme of this and the conclusion to this as a book is astrophysics is wild. Cosmology is wild. And a lot of the like yeah, answers is we don't know. Could this happen? We don't know. Maybe. Why? We've got all of this data about what's going on in the universe. What does it mean? Can we predict the future with it? Can we fully work out the past with it? Can we work out what is actually happening to our universe? Maybe, but why? Why do we do this? And ultimately, we have no control over it. Like, this is obviously 5 theories on the end of everything, the end of the universe, astrophysically speaking. And in all of these theories, there is nothing we can do about it. And it is kind of like, whoa, sad? I don't know. The ending, like the what now, what for the future epilogue part of this was a lot of reflection on like how people feel about that, and people being like, it's really depressing, like the end of the universe is a really sad and depressing thing, like one day everything's just gonna no longer exist and there'll be no legacy, nothing left. And some people saying like it's really sad and it makes them emotional, and then on the flip side of that, other people being like, it is what it is. Humanity will be long gone by then. If it did happen, we wouldn't even know it would happen, so there's nothing we can do about it, no need worrying about it, doesn't affect me in my day-to-day life emotionally whatsoever. Like, it was very flip-floppy. But yeah, just the curiosity in me is now once again ignited for astrophysics, and I want to now read the, what's it called, Brief History of Black Holes, or Brief Lesson on Black Holes, the one by Dr. Becky Smethurst, which is on my shelf over there. I'm now much more interested in black holes because one of these theories being vacuum decay, and vacuum decay is like the one that could happen at any moment, but probably won't, and how like creation of black holes could be a trigger for that, maybe, don't know. So I'm once again intrigued by astrophysics, and I just am so glad to have picked this back up again today and thoroughly enjoyed it. So that's both of those done, and the first 67 pages of this. I will continue this tomorrow, and for the sake of this vlog as well, because I started it in this vlog, I'm actually going to extend this vlog into tomorrow. But for the purposes of 24-hour readathon, let me tell you how many pages I read. It wasn't that many, to be honest, but now I can track it all on Storygraph, and I love that. 494 pages I read today, which I'm pretty pleased with. And in terms of my Pokeathon gym, I completed 3 of the prompts for that, which gets me some nice sweet bonus points in my Pokédex, which is fantastic. So as for right now, I am going to get myself sorted for bed. I'm going to go to bed, where I now have my new Sirius light, and I'm probably going to read some more of this in bed, because I'm not quite tired yet. I'm going to go from one cozy reading setup here to the other in the bedroom, and we'll just carry on until I've finished this as well. So I'll see you there. Hello! It has been a moment. It's been a little bit longer than I wanted it to be to update you. The glare on my glasses is awful. But I said I was going to finish this the next day after that readathon. It's actually been, like, longer than that. But I can report that I have now finished I'm Afraid You've Got Dragons. And I'm going to give this one a 3-star. This changed tone. I think I might have mentioned to you at the beginning that I was enjoying kind of the humorous tone to it. It got darker, it got violenter, it got more violent. Let's try and use language correctly. The tone definitely changed. I still had a good time with it, but nothing about this was like actually sucking me in and truly gripping me. Like, at any point whilst reading this, I could, and did, hence why it's been so long, put this down in favour of something else, doing something else, reading something else. It just didn't suck me in, which is a shame, but it was still by no means bad. I still enjoyed the story. I enjoyed that change in tone when it became that little bit darker and a little bit more grim. I still had a fun time. There were still humorous elements to it, and I really liked the way dragons were portrayed in this. Obviously, this is very much about dragons. Our main character is a dragon exterminator, but he doesn't want to be a dragon exterminator. He hates killing dragons. He wants to save them, set them free. He wants to keep them as pets and raise them. He loves the dragons, but in this world, dragons are kind of seen as vermin. They are pests. Like, he's called out to barns because a wyvern's laid a bunch of eggs in the barn again. God damn. Ah. Oh, there's a hoarder something in the loft. They need to get... Do you know what I mean? Like, equivalent of rats and pests and stuff. It's how dragons are in this world. But there are also big, scary dragons that are just a lot less common. And of course we do come across some big scary dragons. We also have a prince and a princess. Princess is very, like, stereotypical princess, needs to find the most beautiful prince in the world to marry. And then Prince comes along, who is on a hero's quest and needs to slay a dragon. And of course the three of them having, you know, different ideas and different plans, but all aligned to go on some sort of quest together, and it ends up being much bigger than they ever thought it would be. I liked it, I just didn't love it, and I don't know what it was, because the story itself, very good. I think if it had hooked me in more, actually, I'm gonna say like 3.5. I'm gonna go 3.5. If it had hooked me in more, this could have gone higher, because the story itself I did really enjoy. But something about the telling of it just didn't hook me in. And in terms of Peter S. Beagle, this is only the second book I've read from Peter S. Beagle. I really do want to read some more from him. But The Last Unicorn is still my favourite. So anyway, it took me much longer than anticipated to finish this one out, but I did promise you that I was going to finish it out in this vlog. So there it is. Okay, now I am going to add this little clip onto the end of that vlog, and hope that you have enjoyed. Thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit throughout however long this has ended up being. It was a semi-successful readathon. I'll call it a win, even if I did finish one of the books like a week later, but we won't talk about that. Thank you once again to Serious Readers for sponsoring this video. Details for those down below with that discount code, and I will see you in whatever comes next, which I don't know what is at this point in time, but I'll see you there. Bye!